Our next guest is the closer on the BYU baseball team. In his first year in the Big 12, he made 29 appearances, struck out 46, earned 10 saves. A pleasure to welcome Stone Cushing to the Wise Guys. Welcome.
How's it going, guys?
What do you think of our place?
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, don't tell anybody where it is because for security reasons we keep it secret.
Sounds good. I like the baby.
Yeah, we don't know why the baby's up there.
Did you check things. So that you have all the stuff in the set. That's the one you picked out. You like
that's the one that stood out a little bit. That's for sure.
There's some mystery to this place.
I like the baseball. You'd like to see the baseball Cosmo there on the end.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, there.
All right, Stone. Let's get to a couple of things right off the bat.
Oh no.
Let's say you're facing Blaine. All right,
Okay,
you're on the
sounds
hill.
good.
He's at the plate. And you're gonna strike him out in 3 pitches, is my guess.
He's very disrespectful of my hitting ability.
So as you look in there and Blaine's in there, what pitches you coming at him with?
What side do you hit from?
I'm a right-hander.
Okay. That makes it a little easier for me then.
See, I'm just telling you.
Well, if it's 3 pitches, if I don't get one to waste, then I'd probably just go slider outside corner, sinker inside corner, slider off the plate.
So you think I'm going to chase that last one?
Yeah, you'll chase it.
Yeah, you'll chase it because it's gonna.
If I have one to play with, I might throw a four seam behind his head at 0-2 or
I've seen that. I've seen that. It's very unsettling.
Just to kind of get him flustered and then just throw straight
Stone,
sliders.
like
after
see these
that.
forearms? These are made.
Not bad.
It's just made to just like. All I need to do is get the get the bat on the ball, and it's in the gap.
So do
You got the second step down.
Do you have a
sure.
pitch? I think you do, where Blaine will think it's just coming right for his head and then just bends right in.
Yeah,
catches the inside
if
corner.
I throw my slider good enough, then
I feel like it's coming at me.
Yeah,
and then
Yeah, I probably won't. It'll probably start more around like your thigh or hip.
Yeah,
and then just maybe go outside corner.
Yeah, that would be a quick at bat. All right, so what about Taysom? What if you're facing Taysom in there?
Are you going to do him any different?
I feel like he'd be pretty good at baseball.
He's like 6'5". Yeah, we know he can hit a golf ball like
He's
900 yards.
He's not bad at anything. I'm just going to say that. Like he's big. He squats like 750 pounds and benches 400 and something. And
So
his forearms are twice this size.
Get us in your head. So he's in the batter's box, and you're looking. He's 6'5". You faced some guys last year that are big in the Big 12. So
he's like 238. He's a monster. He could mash it.
He's digging it in, and it looks like a toothpick's in his hands because his arm with his bat, and he's looking at you, and he's trying to, size you up, and you're trying to size him up. So how are you going to strike him out?
Well, I mean, if I face a guy who's like big like that, who's either muscular, like I think he's pretty strong, or a guy who's just big in stature, I'm gonna throw him a lot of soft away, a lot of stuff that's out of his reach. So that's probably how I'd go at him. Just throw sliders
Make
away
him wait on it and have it turn away from him.
I'm not going to give him something he can do.
And he's a righty too. He bats right too, so that's easier for you.
You're not sending one down the pipe. Well, how fast do you throw?
Yeah, what's your fastest fastball in a game situation?
Right now?
Yeah.
This summer I was 95. This fall I've been down it's been a little bit different, kind of getting back into the groove of things. But in the summer I was
95.
On a good day I was around 94, 95 when I could let it eat.
And so when we're in the mid-season, as we come up and spring comes and you guys get going, you'll be back up in that 94, 95 range? Or?
No, that's the goal. We got a couple months off season to get our bodies right and get ourselves strong and hopefully put on a little bit of weight, get some more velo on that, but we'll see.
What's in your arsenal? I should know this, but I'm asking anyway. So you got fastball, but what do you got?
Well, I don't throw my traditional four-seam fastball much. When I throw a fastball, it's a sinker, and I'm holding the ball in a way where I'm trying to get it. I wish I would have brought a ball
so we could show.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding it so like the seams of the baseball are kind of around my finger, so I'm just trying to get it to spin kind of like a gyro, or not a gyro, like a saucer. And
just spinning this way.
Yeah. So since I'm 5'10", I can't really get on top of the baseball and get a lot of ride where it looks like it's like rising to the hitter. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna hammer a sinker, which is gonna be my strong point, where it's gonna move more horizontally than vertically or top to bottom.
And the way you grip the ball and where you are on the seams makes a big difference in how that ball is gonna move, right?
Oh yeah. If I'm throwing a baseball, I want my finger to be behind the baseball the whole time. Mm-hmm. If I move my hand like that at all, if I throw a sinker and my hand looks like this, it's going to be probably over like up.
So it'll rise up.
Yeah, it won't sink. It'll kind of play as like a riser, which is just, I mean, it's just not a good pitch.
And today's hitter is studying, they get a millisecond to see how you're going to release that baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how much, like, show us that again. So you want these figures on top of the ball then, or just directly behind the ball?
So for my sinker, I kind of want it to be right behind the baseball.
Directly behind the ball.
On the plane of where I'm throwing it. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit on top of it, if anything, to get a little more sink. Mm-hmm. But if I mean, like I said, you have to be very articulate with the way you throw the ball, because like I said, if I move my hand a little bit, I mean, it's just
going to take off on you. It's just going to get up in the strike zone. Somebody's going to hit it.
Yeah, and if I try to get too much on top of it, I'm going to spike it. I'm going to spike in front of the plate.
Strikeout pitch, is it the sinker?
Slider.
The slider.
Yeah, I've always had. I feel like my freshman year of college, I was a reliever at my JUCO, and I threw like 75% sliders. I just like that's just
so when you throw a slider, show us what you're going to do. How's that release come out when you're throwing that slider?
So I'm getting out in front with it, and when I'm throwing it at my best, I'm getting it, my fingers coming off the side of the ball. So it's not necessarily spinning like that. It's spinning more of like a gyro and getting
so it's coming at you like this, and the spin is clockwise, right?
Mm-hmm. I want to get it like a really tight circle or a really tight dot on the ball. And I want it to come out looking like my fastball. So it's not coming out on a loop. It's coming out hard like a fastball, and then it's just last minute takes off.
Just dives.
And they swing and miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen it many times.
Yeah. So like I don't have a lot of guys will get a sweeper is what it's called, and it's moving like this much. Like I'm never going to be a guy who's going to get a pitch that's going to like naturally move that much. So my thing is getting it to come out like a fastball where I can set it up with my sinker and then throw the slider right after, and it looks the same for about 55 feet. And for that last 5 feet, it's just the slight difference.
See, that's where he'd get you.
I know he would get me for sure. Do you throw a curve at all?
I don't know. I've thrown it in the past. It's not a pitch that is much different than my slider. If I were to throw it like full 100%, it's not much. It's not that. It wouldn't do much different for me. Like I wouldn't throw it very much, so I don't throw it.
And would you throw a curve at a slower speed than you'd throw the slider?
Yeah, curveballs are typically slower. So mine, I think when I did throw it was like low 80s, like maybe 80, 81 versus my slider when it was like 83, 84.
So there's just enough coming off of it that the batter's got to wait a little bit. Mm-hmm. And now he's looking at where it's coming, and when he's finally going to jump on it, it's going to tail off, and he's going to miss.
Exactly, that's my plan.
BYU baseball pitcher Stone Cushing on the Wise Guys, presented by Brady Plus and distributed by the Deseret News. What do? You get to come in the ninth inning most of the time because you're closing it up. Sometimes you come in the eighth, depending on how the game's going.
Yeah, it'll be a little different this year. I'll have a lot of different roles throughout the.
So you might be set up, you might be closer, you might be middle relief.
Yeah, you might see me in a lot of different.
Any chance are there games where you'll start?
Maybe.
Or always be.
If the team needs it, I'll do whatever. Yeah. I kind of just told my coaches that whatever needs to be done, I'll do it. I'll do whatever they ask. So whatever happens. I just want to be ready for whatever role I can help us win.
Take us inside your head when you're on the hill. Let's say it's the ninth. You're trying to close it out. To what do you do to maintain the mental edge over the hitter who's trying to do the same to you?
Well, it's tough. It's like you can lose focus for a millisecond and your whole inning is changed. So, when I get in there, I do my thing. I throw my warm-up pitches. I do my thing behind the mound, whatever I do. But, I got to get to the point where I don't have a single thing going on up top. I'm not thinking about the pitch. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just playing baseball at that point.
Yeah.
You just kind of got to zone everything out, especially, every stadium we played in, even especially Miller Park, it gets so loud, especially in the ninth inning. So you got to kind of find a way to block all that out and just zone in.
It's hard to be a closer.
Yeah.
You look around at Major League Baseball, and that's with the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, it's all right there coming out of the
It's in your
bullpen.
hands. Hey, describe the thrill. You just kind of talk to us about what you want that slider to look like. So now it's a big inning. The batter's up. The third out is up at the plate, and you throw that slider, and you've now outsmarted him because he sees fastball. He's thinking fastball. He's thinking fastball, and you throw that, and he chases as it drops out of the strike zone. And What's that feel like to know you outsmarted the hitter in a big moment like that?
I mean, it's a good feeling. I usually black out. I mean, you've seen it at the end of the game. I usually kind of go crazy, but no, it's a good feeling. It's just, I feel like getting a hitter to chase is like, it's something that I know is going to happen before it happens if I throw my pitch right. Like if I throw this right, he's going to swing at it, but if I miss my spot, then he could hit it. So it's like that's the tricky part about pitching is you have to throw every pitch you throw. I mean, it has to be exactly how you want it, or else you're going to get hurt.
So Will Farron, you watched the football team, and when Will made that game-winning kick the week before, he said on our post game, when they hit my foot, like I knew that was good. Yeah, like I didn't have to watch it go. I knew that was pure. Yeah. Do you have that when it's coming out of your hand? You're just like, oh yeah.
I came in against Houston last year. I didn't come in at the start of the 9th inning. I came in with 2 outs, and there was a guy on first. And I was facing, I don't even remember, some righty. And that was one of those where I was so in the zone, like locked in, that I felt like before I even threw once I got the first strike, I threw him 3 straight sliders. So once I got the first strike, it was like, yeah, I'm going to strike this guy out. Like, it's just automatic in my mind. I mean, if I get hit, like, that's just I just got to bounce back from that, but I don't remember those. Like, when I am on the mound and I get that first swing on a slider, I buckle him and I throw one in the zone and he just watches it. At that point, I know, like, okay, yeah, he's mine. Like, because I just throw 2 straight.
And he likes to pounce around the mound.
He's mine. I own him.
Music's going, and you can tell
him.
I mean, it's how you got to be. If you're gonna succeed, you gotta have that mentality when you're on the mound.
Yeah, when you're in the zone, it's something.
I can see me up there.
To see.
Stone, you're not going to get in my head. Oh, I'm all up in your head. I'm already in your head.
So Dr. Ketch on our live stream says, I'm looking at this handsome young baseball player. It amazes me the level of detail that goes into every sport by every great athlete. Kind of blows me away. What's it like for you right now to be a BYU athlete surrounded by so many others like yourself that are all in?
Well, it's pretty cool. We get the opportunity to work out in the weight room with a lot of the other athletes on campus, and so they're usually not in there at the same time, but sometimes we'll get to see the other athletes work out. And I mean, it's funny when I go on like social media and I see people arguing over what the hardest sport is. I mean, a lot of baseball players will chime in and say like, it's baseball, and none of you know what you're talking about. But in reality, every single sport has so much that goes into it. I mean, especially when you get to this high level, like, people would come watch us practice, and I think if you don't know much about baseball, you wouldn't understand a thing that we're doing. You would think that we're wasting 2 hours, but in reality, we're just working on things that, I mean, the normal baseball fan won't pick up and won't understand, but it's the most important things in the game that you got to kind of lock down. So, I mean, it goes into every sport. I mean, we watch the people in the weight room, the other athletes are doing completely different workouts than we are. Mm-hmm. So, like, they're working different muscles. I mean, there's different, like, injuries that they're worried about. I could go up to one of them and be like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting Tommy John surgery, and they'd have no idea what it is, but it's like, it's only a surgery that like you'll hear in the baseball world. Right. Versus like.
Which you haven't had.
No, not yet.
I don't ever want you to have.
No. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
To keep taking care of it.
So we're here talking about baseball in mid-November. But that's because fall ball just ended. Yeah. Right. And so now you guys you have fall ball to get ready for your second season in the Big 12. How did fall ball go, and where do you feel you are along that continuum of being ready to compete in this Big 12?
It's a different team than last year. We had more success this fall than we did last fall against like the other teams. Last year we played Utah and GCU in the fall, and we just got stomped on. Yeah. And this fall we had Air Force come in, and we worked them pretty well, and then we went down to San Diego State, and we kind of beat up on them a couple of games. It felt pretty good to see some arms. Hitters got to see arms that aren't ours. We got to see bats that aren't ours, and it felt good. We seemed to, our starting 9 seemed pretty solid. Our pitchers kind of handled their own. So it's been a good fall. I think we're ready to go in now that we at least like kind of know what to expect going into the Big 12. We know to expect good baseball. We can't make mistakes. I mean, we know that this fall, and we've been pushing ourselves. So I'm excited to see where things stack up.
Think back to last season, the debut season in the Big 12. There were just little things here and there that would cost games or series. And how big of a learning moment was that for for the preparation. You have Texas and Oklahoma, but you got the Arizona schools. You got some other schools in that are going to liven things up for this coming schedule. What did you learn last year that's going to help you be a better pitcher this year?
Honestly, it's all about kind of just being confident. I feel like last year we kind of, once we started losing, I mean, we kind of got on this downward spiral, and it just was kind of too hard to get off. So it just kept going. I mean, we had a couple good series wins, one over Houston, one over Texas. But,
right.
I mean, we made a lot of mistakes that I think that it's just not like something that we can like fix. We just have to go into this season with a completely different attitude, kind of go and handle our business, because we have a really good team. We have really talented players on our team. And I think we could make a run in the Big 12 if we play to our ability, which we just haven't been able. We weren't able to last year, but I think that this year with more experience in our lineup, more experience in our pitching staff, I think it'll be a little bit different, hopefully.
With that experience, there's a lot of new faces on this roster, though.
Yeah,
as we were looking down the roster.
At the blue-white scrimmage, we needed a roster just to see where everyone is.
Yeah.
So what are there some new faces that we're going to see that you go, oh, yeah, this guy's going to have a big impact, or a couple of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the offseason is, especially with the transfer portal. We look for guys to come in and make major impacts for our team. One of the guys on our team that I haven't even gotten him out this fall, is Ryder Robinson. He's from TCU. He came in. He's from American Fork, Crew Robinson's brother.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's his younger brother, but
Is he a lefty?
He's a switch hitter.
Okay.
But he's been really good. And then we've got a few arms. We've got a couple of guys who came in from JUCO, from like Slick, some other schools. We've got a couple D1 transfers who are making pretty good impacts for our team in the fall. But honestly, I mean, we're just excited to get going. I mean, it's a new unit, it's a new year, it's a new feel for things. Like getting a lot of new guys in, like whether they're going to play a lot or not, like it's just nice having that new feeling going into a new season.
BYU pitcher Stone Cushing's on the Wise Guys tonight. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and wiseguys.com. There's some newness for you, too. We want to talk about none of the really good stuff. You're married to former Chloe Watson.
Yes.
Last month. So compare the nerves you felt when you got engaged compared to closing out a 7-5 win against Texas like you did last spring.
I don't know. I don't think I had much nerves on either thing, honestly.
Really?
I felt pretty good on both. I mean, when you come in Texas and you got a bunch of drunk people yelling at you and stuff, it kind of just fires you up more than gives you nerves, just kind of waiting to shut those guys up. So that's always fun. But the engagement, I mean,
So what'd you do?
I was actually in class until 8 p.m. that day, so I didn't get home until late, and I was like, hey, come over. Like, I need you to come over really quick. I was being pretty suspicious about it. Like, I wasn't really hiding in.
She sensed it was coming?
Yeah, she was kind of like fighting back. Like,
Had you talked about this before, and did she help with the ring, or did you just completely,
Yeah, she's acting like
this whole anonymous ask a girl to marry you thing and don't even have her pick out the ring, I think that's like, who does that?
Yeah, there's like a 20-point checklist.
So she knew at some point it was coming, but she didn't know exactly.
She knew it was coming. She actually didn't know. I got the ring early. She actually didn't know that I had the ring when I got it. So that was, I guess, the only surprise.
Did you talk to her dad?
I did, yeah.
Okay, how'd that go?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
So that was done, and then now you just have to, the closer has to close the deal.
Exactly, yeah. And then I wasn't home all day, so luckily my mom, bless her heart, she set up our whole, we have this little pergola in our backyard. She set up with lights and the fire going and some curtains and stuff. So it was good. It was nice. But then she came over and then we just walked out back and that's all.
So you did a great job in that Texas game. You closed that 7-5. How did you feel you did on this close?
Great.
So it was better. It was better.
Better.
That's awesome. Now, have you informed Chloe that you'll be spending your first Valentine's Day on the road with us against Fresno State?
Yeah, she's seen the schedule.
Yeah.
So there'll be other February 14th.
Yeah, there will be plenty.
But that one you'll be on the road.
Do we all agree that Valentine's Day is it's like a holiday that got made up by Hallmark?
Yeah,
is that a real thing, or did they make that up?
It's not a real thing until you forget it, and then it becomes a real thing.
You know
remember
what?
that.
I'll remember
That's
that.
good advice that Dave's
Good
given.
advice.
It's a real thing if you forget it.
There you go.
For sure.
I'll remember that.
All right. I think he's ready for 5 questions.
Yeah, we're going to give you 5 questions. I don't know if you came in and heard Scott give his 5 questions. By the way, Scott Phillips would have been phenomenal in baseball. Because I think if he would have gotten on first base,
he would have just run around.
He would have just run around. I don't think you could throw him out a second for sure. So.
Hey, everyone on the stream loves your shirt. Where do they get that?
Shout out Zach Stetler. He's our weights coach.
Okay.
He designed these. They're our weight shirts.
There you
one, the long sleeves are a little like I wouldn't wear it to work out, so it's kind of just a lounge shirt for me. So I just throw it on. But
it's light. It's like
it is, yeah, it's a nice material.
Yeah.
Okay,
What do you call
there you
that?
go.
It's like stretchy. I don't know. What's
Stretchy light material.
Yeah, it's nice. It looks
It is
nice.
nice. Thanks.
Yeah, so-
it's a cool logo though.
So guys,
designed by
I
Weights guy.
don't think that's available because the coach just put that together for the guys, right?
Yeah, this is team issue.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's
sorry.
wondering if they can get it. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, that's it. Stone gets it, and everyone else. You got any other shout outs you want to give for? You got NILs that have been good to you? Anything like that? Before we get to these 5 questions.
Defense drinks.
Okay.
Defense drinks treats us well.
Yeah,
They've
we've
got-
done. So I used to drink one of those every day on the show.
Yeah, they got good supplements. They treat us well. We get treated well by everybody who helps us out. I mean, we get Relight. We get all sorts of stuff from our fueling station, I guess is what they call it. But the Defense Drinks has been really good. I mean, they've got good supplements that have collagen in it, and it helps repair your joints. So it's good. It's good, especially for baseball players.
See, the freedom we have on Wise Guys, unlike some of our other shows, we can do what we want.
Yeah.
And we can say what we want.
That's
right.
And so you can give a shout out to who you want.
That's right. So,
All right, let's do it.
all right, 5 questions for Stone. First one is your favorite sports movie.
Coach Carter.
That's
Coach
one that
Carter.
we've had that one a couple of times, but yeah, Coach Carter's a
What's
good
your
one.
favorite baseball movie?
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
Or Field of Dreams.
Yeah, those are both
Field of
classics.
Dreams. I like every once in a while. I just have to watch it again.
Yeah. Or For the Love of the Game.
That's
one
a good one, too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
not
like
a
that.
lot of people
Costner,
know that.
right?
Great baseball movies. Yep. So Field of Dreams is, I think, my favorite baseball movie.
Yeah, I do like Field of
If
Dreams.
you build it, they will come. So, and I cry every time he wants to have a catch with his dad.
Yeah.
I do.
Emotional.
I do. Not gonna lie. Okay, your favorite singer or band?
I would say Noah Kahn.
Noah Kahn.
Yeah.
Like, what's their genre?
He's like alternative. He's pretty popular right now though.
Okay, I gotta
Noah
get up on
Kahn?
that one.
Yeah.
Is
He threw the first pitch of the Red Sox game this summer and it wasn't very good.
So, but he can sing.
But he can sing.
Okay.
So
I've heard of Shaka Khan, but now there's a Noah
Yeah,
Khan.
I'm looking them
Noah
up.
Kahn.
Whenever
Okay.
people come on, they tell me when I'm not familiar with.
When
it. I
you're
look
in the
it up.
back of the bus, you're listening to Noah Khan.
yeah,
Okay.
it relaxes me.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not a fiery guy off the field. I like to stay relaxed.
So it's he's kind of chill alternative.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, chill music.
Yeah, somebody I go look them up. I looked up Common Kings, and they're awesome. Have you heard of Common Kings? You check them out. I'll check out Noah Kahn. You check out Common Kings.
Common King sounds
Okay,
good.
I think you'll like it. Okay,
Sounds good.
Favorite breakfast cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Now we're talking. None of this. I'm gonna
love
eat
Fruity
bran
Pebbles.
flakes with raisins on
Yeah,
it.
no thanks.
And you will know this as a veteran that you got to eat those fast because they go soggy real fast.
Have you ever had, Rice Krispies treats? That you can make them with Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, my wife actually does that. She's done it like twice since we've been married.
It's phenomenal.
It
isn't
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's a good wife right there.
You married the right person.
That's right.
Your favorite pitch to throw?
Slider
Yeah, I figured.
or sinker. I've gotten to
Somebody was saying
better at throwing my sinker.
that he says, does he actually throw a fastball? Because he doesn't throw it that often. You do throw just a straight up fastball once in a while, right?
Yeah, so I do. It's usually kind of like I'm going to throw this as hard as I can. We'll like 0-2. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can and try to get a swing and miss at that
Yeah.
point.
So your goal is 94 low over the plate.
Yeah, my sinker is like a fastball though. So it's basically a 2-seam fastball is what it's called. But like I call it a sinker because I'm purposely trying to sink it instead of just getting that tail, I guess,
Right,
that a
right.
2-seam gets.
Before Blaine asks you this last one, let me ask a follow-up. On when you're about to throw the slider, all right, do you ever stop and think to yourself, if this doesn't slide, I'm going to hit this guy right in the head?
You throw yours lower
No,
though.
because if I think about that, I already lost. It's
Yeah.
like
you
See,
never,
like,
you
I
never
think-
start that slider up that high though, right? You start it low, like on his hip, right?
Yeah.
But
a
a pitch
want it
that can
low.
just get away, it's like if it doesn't go right, it's going to go wrong. It's like, say, you're chipping by a lake,
Yeah.
and you think to yourself, I better not chip in this lake, and then you chip it in the lake.
That's what I was going to say.
So-
At that point, you already
can't-
lost.
Right.
You already did it.
So I
Negative
ask you
vibe.
because it's
Yeah.
hard. You're like sitting there going, you're about to wind up and fire a thing 95 miles an hour, and it could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Or it could just go right where it's supposed to
I
go.
don't even want you to ever think about this conversation.
We're in
ever
the
again.
off
I don't know
season.
what he's trying to do right here. Like we don't ever think about what he
I'm
just
just
said.
saying, do you ever
that's all right.
sometimes go, hey, I'm going to fire this, and if it doesn't go right, there's going to be some trouble?
No, I've thrown enough baseballs to know, like, if it's in my hand, if I
You might get the benches to clear.
I
That
know
could be-
know where it's going to go.
Do you ever think this dude needs to get back off the plate. So I'm going to throw this thing inside and a little high.
Ooh, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, going back to the nerdy baseball talk again, but you have to command the inside part of the plate.
Because you own the inside of that plate.
Because, I mean, hitters typically aren't looking inside, because if you look inside, you won't hit anything else.
Right.
So, like, they're looking out over the plate. They're not looking for something hard inside. So, I mean, if you can command that, then you already win.
I think Kramer on Seinfeld threw and hit Mickey Mantle because he was crowding the plate.
Yeah.
And he said, I own the inside of that plate.
That's right.
Well, what movie was it where they had to throw the high stinking cheddar? What was that movie?
I don't know what that was. Probably
the guy was in the cage.
Probably Major League or something like that. No,
it was like Rookie of the Year. One of those old kids was. You throw them the high stinking cheddar. So,
all right, here's number 5.
This is the most important question of the night.
Sounds good.
What's your favorite thing about Chloe?
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't see it coming.
That's how we work.
And we know that she makes the Rice Krispie treats with Fruity Pebbles. That's pretty cool.
No, she's my best friend. We spend every minute together off the field that I have. So I mean, that's my favorite thing, is the fact that I go home and get to hang out with my best friend all day. So
that's good. That's good.
Did she an athlete at all? Did she play sports growing up?
No. She was a cheerleader in high school. So yes, she was.
Let
me tell you something about
cheerleaders. An athlete.
She cheered in high school. That is a sport.
If there's no cheerleaders,
take it from the dads who pay insurance. They treat it like a sport.
If there's no cheerleaders, is it really a game? Not really.
Exactly. Yeah, so none of our games are games.
So.
Stone Cushing, hey, we look forward to seeing you playing. We'll be out there with you in February. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving as a newlywed and the holidays. And thanks for coming in tonight.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching The Wise Guy.
If you like what you're watching, you can help us out by subscribing and hitting that notification button.